All right, everybody. Welcome back to Praetor Magic. My name is Seth Cross, and I am here with this guy. This guy. Hey, Phyrexian.
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, can you not be?
2 weeks in a row. I mean, that's almost a record.
That's fair. Like, when's the last time you were here to do your job most of the time?
Yeah, that's been a rough stretch with the baby and the new job and everything else going on. But
But here we
I
are.
didn't have to work today, so I'm not like exhausted and falling asleep on the couch. So there's that.
Oh yeah, that's fair. For those of you out there, Happy Veterans Day. For those of you watching this later, a belated Happy Veterans Day. So,
For all of you who are veterans, thank you for your service.
oh jeez, you're welcome. It's actually one of the most awkward things ever about being in the service is that like people will do stuff like that, like thank you, and you're like, I don't know what to say. You're welcome. Your welcome sounds so, to me anyway, right? Like your welcome sounds so the opposite of humble, conceited. I don't know what it is. And then there are some folks who just take it way too far. One time here we are, already off on a tangent. Thanks, Phyrexian. One time I was getting my emissions and my safety check on my car, and I went right after work, so I was still in uniform. And I'm sitting in the line to do it, and somebody comes and just knocks on my window. Like I'm sitting in the driver's seat of my car, and someone just walks up to my car from behind me and knocks on my window and asks to roll the window down. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What do you want from me? It was a older woman, so like, God forbid something was happening, or like crazy going on, I could probably take her. But yeah, so she knocked on my window. She's just like, I want to thank you for your service. I'm like, I just want to get my emissions check and go the hell home. Like, thank you. It's very nice of you to want to like show appreciation and everything. That is very nice. And there are some people who are a lot more okay with it than I am. I just like in that moment I was like, I don't know you, man. You're just kind of walking up to my car in this parking lot when I'm in uniform, so like I'm like a little bit extra sensitive when I'm in uniform because of the way the world is nowadays. But so anyway, see, look, Phyrexian, you were worried about filling an hour. We've already filled about 4 minutes with absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So New Dark Cloud also had the day off today. So
There you go.
congratulations on that. That's great.
I want to say a lot of people had the day off, although I did see a lot of people walking around base in uniform, which is common. You get your essential folks who cannot have Veterans Day and stuff like this off, so that always kind of sucks. Shout out to those people, though. People who did have to work today, you're the real heroes. All right.
I got to play some MTGO with one of my friends who's also a teacher and was off work today. So
So you were mean to people, is what you're telling me.
not that mean.
Well, you were playing Magic.
Okay, I blew up all of his lands one time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I did it again with Brago and the one artifact, Spine of Ishaw.
Yeah, yeah.
So I may have blown up all his lands twice, but other than that, I wasn't that mean. Yeah, but it wasn't like mass land destruction, right? It was targeted land destruction.
No, not at that point when it becomes mass, you are the worst
when it's
person.
Marin doing acidic slime things over and over again, or Brago doing Spine of Ishaw things over and over again.
So Brago actually probably does it faster than Marin, because Marin can only do it once a turn. Maybe twice if you do like a Panharmonicon.
Marin did it 5 times in a turn. Sir, I had a little bit of recursion.
I was about to say, at that point you're
Journey to Eternity.
Yeah.
So I Journey to Eternity, played it, Journey to Eternity, it sacked it, brought it back with Reanimate, sacked it again, brought it back with Animate Dead, sacked it again.
Yeah.
Brought it back into turn with Marin. So I guess I only got 4. I got 4 lanes in a turn.
Yeah. I will say, New Dark Cloud just mentioned playing Muldrotha and Strip Mine. I have Strip Mine in my Muldrotha deck, but I don't go to lock people out of lands. Yeah. That is for repeatable land removal for like, Danny runs a friggin' reserve list card in one of her decks. That's a land. So yeah. That's that kind of stuff. Nykthos, even Maze of Ith. Gaia's Cradle, Maze of Ith.
Yeah, there are a lot of good targets that just need blown up. Yeah. Even Rogue's Passage in the right deck can be.
That's true.
Like Orkesig Wolfrun can be this land needs to be blown up kind of land.
Yeah. So I don't think it's the worst thing ever to do Muldrotha with.
Play Urban Cabal Coffers combo, right?
What's wrong with that? I don't understand. No, see, the worst kind of people are trying to play Urborg with Karma.
That's true.
Those people are the worst.
Those people are literally the worst.
I've done it before.
Hey, all right. We've covered a lot of ground here already in this first
See?
minutes.
We're just gonna waste your whole night just talking about the stupid stuff about Magic, just whatever comes to mind. Anyway, before we do actually figure out what we're talking about today, I do want to remind everybody that we are sponsored by our friends over at Addict Gaming. Which is your game, your style. Make sure you go and use the affiliate link that's down below the stream or in the video or audio description, depending on if you're watching this live where Phyrexian's phone's going off, or watching it later and hearing Phyrexian's phones go off either through your podcast website of choice or YouTube. You can also get 10% off your total purchase by using our coupon code, which is Praetor10, Praetor10. And of course, thank you for helping support the channel by using that link and getting your money back. So, Phyrexian.
What up, yo?
Is your phone off now?
Well, I mean, it can't be actually. That's one of the things about being an assistant principal instead of a teacher. You always are on call to some extent. That was one of my bus drivers, actually.
No, I'm just teasing you anyway. All right, so we have been doing this kill on site thing to start off the episodes for a few times now. So we're gonna do it again, and I'm still gonna go first because Phyrexian's got I feel like Phyrexian's still unprepared. So I wanted to do enchantments this time, and I wanted to do it just so that I could bitch more about Sphere of Safety. It's not like a super deadly card or anything, but I hate this card so much that I will find a way to kill the person running it if I see it on the field. Is it a combo piece? No. Is it winning anybody the game? No. But I hate this card. I hate things that slow the game down so much that they go on to be like 3 hours long. I've played it before myself because like I've had to, depending on who uses combat in EDH. See? That's the problem. We don't reward combat enough. That's why I actually love stuff like, and I've said this before, I love stuff like the Monarchy, I love stuff like Sir Gwen, where you are rewarded for attacking people. I like stuff like Marisi, who is the new Naya Cat, who basically goads everybody if you can hit with some kind of creature. So, I like those kind of things. As far as people who run this card, don't do it. Just don't do it. You shouldn't run it, ever. It's the worst. Danny. Okay, she couldn't hear me. She's in the other room. Alright, Phyrexian. Enchantment that you kill on sight.
Enchantment I can't stand. Overwhelming Splendor.
Oh, that's a good one. What if it's not on you, though?
It still doesn't matter. I dislike Overwhelming Splendor just as a card so much. And, like, even if I'm not the one being Overwhelming Splendored, if I have removal for the Overwhelming Splendor, I will very frequently use it on the Overwhelming Splendor. Just because I've been in that situation where I'm under an Overwhelming Splendor and I can't get out and I'm just not playing the game.
What if the person who's under the Overwhelming Splendor is the archenemy before that?
I don't know.
Yeah, because now
I still might remove it.
Wow,
it's a tough decision, but like, I really, really, really hate this card.
I don't know why. I run this.
It's just like a giant middle finger to one person at the table.
Yeah, what's the problem? I run this in Aminato Witches.
Now, I believe you do, but you also like all the curses in that deck, right?
Not all of them. There's, I think, only like 7 total ish. Then again, I also run the new Kefnet and Nexus of Fate, so I'm a total monster. For those of you who know what that does. Phyrexian knows what that does, I'm sure. It seems like a Phyrexian thing to do.
You might have to refresh my memory.
New Kefnet reveals the card on top of your library before your draw step.
Oh yeah, and then you get to
play a copy of it,
but pay 2 less for it.
2 less. Yep. So you get Nexus of Fate, you get an extra turn, and then Aminato allows you to draw a card and put a card down. So you draw a card and you put Nexus of Fate back down, and then you next turn, which is your next turn, you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. Yeah. Yeah. Kefnet and Approach, that's pretty good too. Oh god. Because Approach only checks the second time if it was cast from your hand. So that works too. Especially if you have enough mana to play it at 5 and then at 7. What is that? 13 mana? 12 mana? So yeah, that's not too hard either. So Phyrexian, what are we doing today?
Well, I thought we were asking chat that question.
Yeah.
Chat, what are we doing today?
So the long story short is that we are not always the best at this, and we actually forgot to come up with a topic. We did really good for the past few weeks, where I was going on Twitter and I was asking questions and getting feedback and everything like that for a whole week, and then we would come.
And by we, he means he has done really well.
You were
I
here.
have a newborn and a 3-year-old, and have been crazy, but
you were here last week.
Yeah, I was here, but I didn't do any of like the prep and all this Twitter stuff that you were doing. And that was you.
Well,
I'm giving all that credit to you.
I don't expect you
here to talk about it.
I don't.
You can't expect me to do social media.
Yeah.
Favorite commanders or archetypes? Ooh, I can get behind that.
That's going to be a very quick one because we're going to probably say half of the same things. It's very funny how, so for those of you who don't know, first of all, this is our 49th episode. I just want to make that clear because next time is our 50th.
So yeah. On the 50th, we'll be really on our game.
There you go. We got to start even thinking of a topic now. But so we've been doing this now for over a year, and it started out because Valdor, formerly of on one of the Praetors, like insisted that we try podcasting. Like over and over and over and over and over again, and I kept brushing it off.
A couple times after stream, just talking, shooting the crap. And
yep. It was basically just breaking down the games.
Like, do it.
Yeah. So
we should do this. Just do it.
We finally set it up. Me, Valdor, and Phyrexian decided to do it, and we did it, for a while. Blah blah blah, and then Valdor actually left. And then we got Magical Hacker, and he did it for a while too. And then he left, and now it's just kind of been Phyrexian and I. And so the odd thing about the whole favorite commanders and archetypes is that Valdor was not an outsider, but like his flavor of the game is completely different than what Phyrexian and I like. Magical Hacker's flavor of the game is completely different than what Phyrexian and I like. But then Phyrexian and I, we can sit down and be like, oh man, look at these cool things, and basically nerd out over the same commanders and strategies and stuff like that. For the most part, there's a few things that I think Phyrexian likes to do that I think is pretty gross, but
like Storm.
I don't mind Storm. I actually want to build a Storm deck.
Ooh.
I just don't have any experience with it because I wasn't playing during the time where it came out. So
I'm more than happy to help you build a Storm deck. I'm more than happy to pass that on because I love Storm. That's one of my archetypes that goes outside my usual Golgari like graveyard grind. Golgari, Sultai, Abzan graveyard grind is Storm.
You think so?
Hmm?
I don't think so. I don't think it's the same thing. The only way I see that as being kind of the same thing is because most Storm decks that I've seen, as far as like doing research and looking into it or playing against it, tend to run Past in Flames or Ignite the Flames, whatever it is. Everything gains. Yeah.
It's
everything can be cast for free or whatever. Yeah, Mizzix's Mastery.
First commander.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's the only way I can make the relation back to like a graveyard deck because, you load your deck, you load your graveyard with all your spells, then you hit Mizzix's Mastery and you can obviously then play all your spells over again. So that I kind of see. But other than that, I'm like, I mean, when you play a Storm deck, is there that much recursion for like instants and sorceries?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was literally just kind of dirtling around, doing a little bit of control until you get like your high tide into your turnabout into your mana
Yeah,
geyser.
mana geyser and stuff like that too. But yeah, I mean, it's not all that though.
I don't see. I don't
There's
know.
a lot of joy in trying to storm off, like blind storming off. Like I know I have all this mana and I have a little bit of card draw, and let's see if I can get there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thrill in trying to do that and just getting there.
See,
There's a lot
I'm
of
very
cantripping and stuff like that too. Like a lot
yeah
of cantrip card draw in your storm.
yeah to get your storm count up, right?
Well, get your storm cat on and keep the storm going because you gotta keep casting stuff.
Yeah. See, that's kind of like the thing that I think I don't enjoy about Storm is that like I'd like to be a lot more. How do I want to word this? Like I really want to know what I'm doing when I do it and leave a little bit of it less to chance. So even when I play like my combo decks, it's typically not like oops into the combo thing. The other day I played me, John, Danny, and Song played a game on Magic Online just for fun, and I played my Teshar deck, and I kind of oopsed into the infinite combo. But normally I don't like to do that. Like normally I like to wait until I have the pieces and then play them, or have tutors for the pieces and then play them.
Yeah.
So I tend to not like the I hope I can get it style of play. Because when you don't get it, that to me is like, oh man, what could I have done differently, or how do I make this better or more consistent? And then next thing you know, I'm running like CEDH decks or something like that. I don't know. So, favorite commander? So, well, first of all, what are like your current commanders now? I know you don't have a lot of a paper collection anymore, right?
No, I don't have much of a paper collection at all.
So,
About the only thing I have left that's fully put together in paper right now, I think, is slivers.
why? Why are you like this?
Well, I just put a lot into my sliver deck, and I didn't want to get rid of the stuff that I had for it. So,
I mean, gross. Like, that's disgusting.
I put a lot of money in.
So, is tribal an archetype that you enjoy, or is it just because it's slivers?
I enjoy tribal
Mm,
too. Like I build a lot of tribal decks. Like even when I was doing 3DH, or like even now, like looking through the decks I have on Magic Online, I do have like a couple tribal decks.
yep.
I've got slivers and I've got elves and I've got dragons still. So I've got like a few tribes. So yeah, tribal's good just because I mean, and well, I guess I have another tribal deck, but we'll talk about that more on Thursday as long as the game actually makes. Don't want to give too much of that one away before then, but so I have a fourth tribal deck too, I guess technically. Um, New Dark Cloud says he's tried so many times to make a werewolf tribal deck, but the tribe just kind of sucks. It's not the best supported tribe out of Innistrad block. That's what's the problem.
It's honestly
Innistrad gave a lot of werewolf support, and there's no werewolf. That's really
the biggest thing about werewolves is that the tribe has to basically stop people from playing spells to be good, and it's in the colors that do that really poorly.
yeah.
Like if you had white somewhere in werewolves, it would be better because then you can run some of the like stacks here effects. Like imagine all the enchantments that say you can't play more than one spell per turn. All you then need is a way to force your werewolves to flip and to keep that enchantment around, and then people can't transform your stuff back. So I really do wish,
Moon Mist.
yeah. But that's one answer that they have. White has like 5 of those cards.
That's why my most successful werewolf deck has been Smoot. Yeah, that would make sense. And get that white in there.
Yeah. Because you need to stop. If you can force a way to transform them, that's great. But you need to stop people from playing spells to keep them transformed anyway. So, like, getting them transformed is half the battle, but the other half of the battle that most people lose is getting them transformed back. Especially as the game goes on. Because werewolves are like that weird kind of aggro where they want to set up a lot faster and then be kind of mid-rangey ish. But by the time they have a field, people are able to play a spell every turn or 2 spells a turn easily. most of the time when people are building their decks appropriately.
Especially when you have 3 opponents.
Yeah.
The odds are good that one of them will play 2 spells in a turn, and then all your will-rust to flip back into lowly little humans.
Yeah. I really wish they had with Innistrad 2.0, especially so with the lore, right? When Innistrad happened the first time and Avacynth came out and then like did the Curse Mute or whatever it's called, and basically turned a lot of werewolves into Wolfing or Wargrin or something like that. Basically, she gave them more control over their ability to transform, and they kind of started siding with her. So I kind of wish that had happened in Innistrad 2, where like you could basically pay to transform. Wolfier, that's what it was. Thank you, Newdark. So I wish that had happened a little bit more in Innistrad 2.0. We got some kind of those effects because there are some werewolves that you can pay to transform, but they were so far and few between that it wasn't good. Or like we needed more ways to force the transformation. So like an enchantment where you could pay in to transform target werewolf or something like that. Stuff like that. But we only have like 2 ways to do it? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I think one of them's a planeswalker. No, that's not what.
One of them's Moon Mist, and Moon Mist is just really bad.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know, werewolves always kind of suck, and it always kind of disappointed me because of the like gothic horror-y tribes. You have spirits, which are essentially ghosts, and then vampires, and then you have werewolves, and werewolves are just so lackluster, and they don't have like a super good commander. Like New Dark Cloud said Samut, which is not a werewolf, but makes sense because it gives you other stuff haste, so it gives you that aggro, and it does give you the access to white for the denial stuff. But like Ulrich is not great.
Well, since DM mentioned spirits, one of my favorite commanders to play is a spirit, and does fit in our thing for Thursday in nobility, but DM wouldn't let me play him because
you'd be the worst.
Because I've already played him before or something, some nonsense like that. Some reason because he just didn't want me to play Brago again. But I really enjoy playing Brago, like Flicker Brago, not Stacked Brago, but Flicker Brago. Flicker Value Brago, I really enjoy playing.
So I built a Brago in paper, and I only had 5 total cards that were control-y, and it was like Frost Titan, Kefnet's Monument, and a couple other ones. Angel of Serenity, I think, and like 2 other things that I can't remember. So there was like 5 total control cards, and everything else was enter the battlefield token stuff, or like to benefit token stuff, or like enter the battlefield draw card stuff, right? Like stuff you need,
like Cloud Blazer, Muldrifter.
Yeah, stuff you need to basically do well in the deck, right? Like it doesn't affect anybody else. It just means that I get more cards. And every time I played it, and I played it a good 3 or 4 times, it just locked people out of the game. Because somehow, like you draw so much, you draw into the control pieces,
cards, yeah.
And then you use them because what are your alternatives?
I still love Brago so much. My 3DH Brago deck is probably my favorite 3DH deck I've ever built.
The one that you're going to play on Thursday?
That and Marin.
Huh? I thought she dropped when you...
The one, is that what you're going to play on Thursday? Are you talking about the one you're going to play on Thursday?
No, I'm not playing Brago on Thursday, remember? I'm not allowed to.
Oh, okay. No.
Reaper King on Thursday instead. Totally different than Brago.
What I thought I heard you say was that the one you're going to play on Thursday, the deck, not the Brago, but the deck you're going to play on Thursday is one of like your favorite decks or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, I had a Reaper King deck in paper way back when, but it was completely different than this one. My Reaper King deck in paper was actual Scarecrow Tribal, and it was really bad. It was one of like the first 3 EDH decks I ever built. It was really bad. I liked it, but it was really bad.
Why? You just have to have Scarecrows enter the battlefield.
Yeah, it was really bad. Because basically, if someone could just kill Reaper King enough times, then Scarecrows don't do anything.
Which people should. I mean, what? Scarecrows are all artifacts, right?
Yeah.
So wasn't there's no artifact synergies to it? Oh, Jesus, he dropped. All right. So still talking about New Dark's question though. So favorite commander. I mean, I think most people know that my favorite commander that I currently run right now is Krinkle Mob Boss. This is my combo deck. It is designed to win as soon as possible. It is designed to win anywhere from turns 3 to 5. And I know that's not fun for most people, but it is something that I like it because there are so many different combos, right? And the pieces are sometimes overlapping and whatever. So a lot of the times I have to remember or play things at the right time or keep an eye on open mana or this, that, and the other thing. And it's a mono red deck, right? Like there are all kinds of decks that can mess it up or whatever. So a couple of counters on, especially on Krenko, right? And he's now hard to play. I will say that recently he's gotten some upgrades between like Dockside Extortionist, which typically comes and makes quite a few treasures, or even like the what do you call it? Paramorphic Revolution? The new red enchantment. The new red enchantment from Modern Horizons. That basically lets you cycle your lands. I can't remember what it was called. Damn. But that's a good one because it helps you obviously turn your lands into other cards, especially if you do start flooding out. It has a very low land count. It's only at 36 now. I think I bumped it up to 38, and I've started noticing getting flooded, which is, again, one of the reasons for the enchantment, so I could cycle my lands. But, hey.
Don't know what happened there. One of the fun of the live shows.
Maybe you just lost
just
connection.
Disconnected and wouldn't let me reconnect. And all my other internet and stuff was working fine. I could see the stream, see you talking, everything else was going. So I don't know what happened, but I'm back now.
All right, well. I was saying that my favorite commander is Krenko.
Yeah, Krenko's pretty great.
Yeah. And then that's really it though. I like the different combos and everything, and basically racing people. It is very much an arch enemy style deck, so it is very much 3 people versus me ish. And I guess I just like the explosiveness of the plays, because even if you just have Krenko and you make a bunch of goblins, sometimes like Krenko turn 4, make 3 goblins. That's splashier than you think, because if you don't stop me, next turn it could be Krenko taps and makes 20 goblins, or Krenko kills somebody.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way with my elf deck.
Marwyn?
With Marwyn, yeah.
I like Marwyn.
She does very splashy things on turn 4 or 5 if you don't kill her.
Yeah.
She does a lot of work. I've seen a lot of people playing other elf commanders since Marwyn came out in Dominaria, and they're just wrong. If you're playing elves, Marwyn just should be your commander. I haven't seen any other commander that does as well.
I don't know. Danny's got quite a bit of success with her Azuri deck.
Yeah, I mean, Azuri's probably number 2 in my mind, but he just doesn't do enough on his own. Like, on his own, he doesn't do enough, you know? Like, he needs a Marwyn or a Priest of Titania or an Elvish Archdruid or something to make all that mana to make him really good.
Oh, right? So he needs one of the, like, half dozen cards that exist for elves.
Hold on. Well, I get that. And I get that you're running all of them and you're likely to draw them. But Marwyn just does that, and then there are so many different ways to tutor out Azuri when you need.
Why can't you just tutor out Marwyn?
Less efficient.
You're less efficient. Boom, got there. No, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. I think it is down to they are doing somewhat different things.
I mean, slightly different, but the same, too.
I mean, Azuri has the win con attached to him. What is normally the win con with Morrowind? It's a Crater Hoof or something else?
Crater Hoof, Azuri.
Yeah.
Triumph of the Hordes.
Yeah. So, I mean, they go about getting to the same thing differently. Because, again, Azuri has the win con attached to him. Yes, he needs the thing to do it, but that's... Morrowind has the thing to do it, and she needs a win con. So... I think
But just to me, having the mana and the way to do it and finding the win con is better than having the win con and having to find the way to do it.
In a mono
I
green
don't know
deck?
why, I just yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't trying to like snarky ask you or anything. I was legitimately asking because
No, I've played this deck with both as
Mhm.
commander because the deck was originally a Zuri deck until Marwyn came out, and then I played Marwyn, and I've just had more success with Marwyn than Azuri because Marwyn also just you can do the infinite mana thing and you can do the all the other things with her.
do you think people target Marwyn a little less because she doesn't have the win contact on?
I think that might even be the case too. Yeah, they don't realize how scary Marwyn is until it's too late.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody knows, hey, Azuri, look at that. That's a trample for elves and a stick.
So what also about if Marwyn does get removed, you basically do have to kind of like start over. Whereas if Azuri gets removed, it only really matters if it's a board wipe. You know what I mean? Like targeted removal on Azuri, because the deck is designed to get a lot of mana anyway, so you can activate his ability as many times. Whereas targeted removal on Marwyn seems to be a little bit scarier to your plan. Or is that obviously you run like ways to give her hexproof and stuff like that, but
Yeah. I mean, you got the Lightning Greaves, you got like Autumn's Veil and stuff like that.
yeah. The heroic intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's even double good in case somebody does try to just board wipe, right? And make all your stuff indestructible.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah. I think I'm even running the 1-for-3 that makes all creatures with 1/1 counters indestructible.
Oh,
I'm running that one. What's that called?
That armor
If
craft.
if I'm not now, I have ran it before as just another way to protect Marwyn.
Like armor craft judgment or something like that. Something crazy. It's from Kaladesh.
Yeah, it's from Kaladesh, but I don't remember what it was. But I mean, I don't know. It's probably like a coin toss, really, between the two.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Azuri is a bad one. I'm just saying in the games I've played, Marwyn's been a better one, just because it's easier to get to that, that point where you're doing the infinite elf thing and pooping out a ton of stuff on one turn.
Okay. So we didn't really get into the archetype part of the New Dark's question, but I'm pretty sure we could both say graveyard stuff is high up there.
Yeah, graveyard shenanigans is high up there. Tribal is not like I said, is not completely off my radar.
Yeah.
And then Storm and combo control.
Yeah, I've actually been
which graveyard is control mostly. Your graveyard strategies mostly fall on a control or more control-y basis.
Yeah, at least it's more battlefield control, I think, than anything else. Because like you're obviously not going to play that many instants and like counter spells in a graveyard strategy deck. You can. I did with Drosa probably can because there's a lot of permanents that will get you back your counter spells if you need to.
Yeah,
so
Archaeomancer and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's not impossible to run like a legit control deck with Sultai, which is obviously, and Muldrotha is obviously the graveyard deck. Yeah, the graveyard deck. But I don't know. For me, when we talk about graveyard strategies, I think I just like the extra options of knowing that what I'm gonna put into my graveyard, whether it's something being blown up or something being stripped out of my hand or whatever. Like I just like the fact that I'm always gonna have extra options. So it's like having more cards in my hand, even if I have to discard or whatever. Because like I can't tell you how many of my graveyard decks I run without like Reliquary Tower or anything like that because I don't care if it goes into my graveyard. I'll be able to play it back or get it back or return it or whatever. So
the one frustrating part about being a graveyard, person is recently the sheer amount of hate they've been printing for graveyard decks.
That's
been a little bit frustrating. They've been printing like a card a set to hate out graveyards.
I mean, we're lucky if it's a card a set. Wasn't Rest in Peace and Leyline printed in the same set? Or reprinted?
Yeah, they're reprinting the same one. So yeah, it's been a rough road for graveyard decks recently. Just
And then on top
so
of that,
many more.
some of the graveyard like recursion stuff, they've been doing the exile to get stuff back kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is obviously kind of like a shot in the foot to do that kind of thing. Like even Kethis, for as much as I love Kethis, and I was, for those of you who haven't heard me say this a million times, I loved Kethis the second he was revealed, and everybody was like, "Oh no, he's boring," or "Oh, he's not splashing enough," or whatever. Yeah, shut up, you're wrong. Like you do have to exile 2 legendary cards in order to do the kind of recursion that you want to do. So, like he's really good, he's really solid, but like the fact that you have to basically pay, like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because how many other strategies have infinite resources, minus obviously like infinite mana stuff, which has to be set up. But it just seems weird to target reanimation so hard with the way they're not only printing or reprinting Grave Hate, but also changing the way the reanimation cards are printed and how they work.
Yeah.
Why the hell are we
So.
at so far?
No more just reanimate. Phyrexian Delver, the good stuff. A lot more Whip of Erebos going on.
On?
Yeah.
On Dewdrop?
And then
Get
of
it
course,
back, 'cause you got exiled afterwards.
yeah.
Or you gotta exile it and then get a token or stuff like that.
Yeah, who did that? Gyrus, right? The Hydra
Yeah.
from last year? Last year's Precon, right?
And then it was last year's precon, I think.
Yeah, where like you get the creature back, but I mean, so I wrote an article for Gyrus, and I kind of like, I did eventually get super excited about the way the article turned out, but I remember writing it, and I'm like, you have to jump through so many hoops for this to be decent. You have to pay into him more to get bigger creatures back. You have to exile the card and get a token one. It's tapped and attacking, and you get rid of the token at the end of combat. Like, there's just so much annoying stuff about this. It's like, why couldn't we just like keep the token, right? Because at the end of combat, you have to exile the token from Gyrus that you make. So you get your thing back once.
Yeah.
Why? You can't keep doing it because you exiled the card. You could, I guess, be making copies of tokens, but I can do that anyway with Parallel Lives and Doubling Season. So I never understood why you had to have this extra loop. And again, this just ties back into like graveyard stuff having to be like kind of nerfed. And then there was another one. There's a legendary creature. It was from like the core set a couple years ago. I forget what her name was. She's a legendary black creature though. Hold on.
You're gonna have to help me out with more than a legendary black creature.
She's from Commander a little while ago.
Only heal so fast.
God, what was her name? So you had to like exile to bring stuff back too, with her. She had a vulture on her head or something.
Oh.
Izareth, the Awakener. There we go.
Yeah.
Whew, we got there. Doing it live. So, yeah, whenever she attacks, you can pay X. When you do, return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield with a corpse counter. If that creature will leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So it has kind of like the Whip of Erebos clause on it. Which, I mean, Whip of Erebos is still a good card because of the lifelink, but I don't know. Like, again, so many loops. She's a 3 mana, 3/3 with Death Touch, so that's at least good, right? Like, just looking at her stats, she has good stats. And then you have to attack in order to trigger. You have to pay in order to get something. It has to be exact, so you can't, like, pay X and then get something less than, which I guess you're getting it from your graveyard, so it doesn't matter anyway. But then again, it exiles if it goes anywhere. And it just seems... I don't understand why like we have to jump through so many hoops to get something back. Especially again if you're gonna exile the card and give us a token or whatever nonsense like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they like piled things up. They didn't just say like, hey,
I hear what's going on.
we're gonna do one less thing because of Reanimator's too strong. We're gonna start exiling things and giving you token copies. Okay, fine, but then don't make me lose the tokens. I just want to bring stuff back. I just want things to live again.
Yeah, we just want to reassemble a skeleton, call it Valdor, and keep it in the corner whenever we need it.
I think they made Marin too good, and everybody complained about her. So they're like, oh, no, can't have good reanimator stuff anymore. So, I don't know. Super sad, though. But, so, Discord is being really fun today. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I got disconnected.
They did make Marin too good. Now, Marin is my second favorite 3DH deck. And the only reason I never build Marin in paper is because one of my friends, actually the one I was playing MTGO with today, already had a Marin paper deck. So I didn't feel like having two Marins in the same play group was the right thing to do.
You say 3DH or EDH?
3DH.
Marin's 3DH capable?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or has been. I don't know if she is this season. I haven't checked that list, but the last 2 seasons she was.
What in the hell?
She was 3DH capable.
Oh my god.
Like I haven't checked for this season. Like haven't exported that list into the new spreadsheet, but she was for the last 2.
That actually terrifies me.
And she can do things even on 3DH budget. That's what I was doing the acidic slime thing with today.
She is. She's only 84 cents in this season.
Oh, that means I can probably make my Marin deck even better.
Oh, was she more previously?
I think so. I think she was more last season. I know she was more the season before last. She was like $2 and something.
Why do we play any other cards in Magic?
I know, right? But yeah, so I already have a Marin in 3DH deck, and I just have to double check the spreadsheet. But I really like Marin. Marin's great.
I'm trying to think of.
I think like, Marin and Moldrotha are both too good.
Yeah.
But I don't object to them being too good because.
You want to abuse them? Yeah.
Because why not abuse them, right?
So the last archetype that I think I've been super high on for about the last year, and I've gone through doing a couple different decks with this archetype, different commanders, different color combinations. I think you can't play this archetype without at least one of these colors, but is land decks. So
I've tried. I've never been able to get behind it. Like,
so
the closest I came was like Omnath, Angry Omnath.
Yep.
To getting a lands deck I actually liked. But then that wasn't really a lands deck. It was a tokens deck pretending to be a lands deck.
No, it's a lands deck because you need lands in order to do it.
Well, yeah, I know, but really the entire deck was more about the things you could do with tokens than the things you could do with lands.
No, the lands were the way to get the tokens. Can't do one without the other.
I agree. But at the same time, like I said, the reason I think I liked it is because it was a tokens deck more than the fact that it was a lands deck.
Okay.
Because any lands deck I've tried that hasn't been this, I just haven't liked.
So
Tatyova, yeah, she is quite good.
Tatyova's one. Lord Windgrace. I like Lord Windgrace because
get Rock Frog if you want to be super competitive.
Well, so
you can even build it non-competitive, of course, but
Lord Windgrace allows you to put Frog with Omnith with Titania with like 2 or 3 other like really good landfall or lands die style cards into a Jund deck. So I really enjoy Lord Windgrace because of that. I really haven't tried. I can't type. I really haven't tried the new Omnith yet.
Yeah, I know. I realize that already. I'm doing the best I can without dying myself, honestly. I'm trying to
Yeah. Ooh, I remember what its name was. I haven't been able to test out Omnith Locus of the Royal, but I've seen it played. I've seen it played a few times, and it does do kind of dumb, explosive things. And it's the same concept where you basically get blue instead of black for a lands deck. And for as much as I enjoy black, green blue for lands deck is really good. You get to then kind of obviously you're doing elemental, so you get like royal elemental to have like control stuff in there. You still can now you can put Tatiova in the deck, and Tatiova is one of my favorite commanders of all time, just because she's such a good like value piece. You literally just anytime you get rewarded just for playing the game is silly. So like that's why like even Tulane I think is kind of super silly, because one of the basic parts of Magic, right, is playing creatures in order to attack your opponent, and not every deck actually runs that way, but I think a majority of decks, right, at least half, I guess, will want to play creatures. Even if you don't attack with them, you play creatures to get a value off their abilities, to get a value off them entering the battlefield, to get value off them leaving the battlefield, right? Aristocrat decks require creatures in some manner, whether it's tokens or actual bodies, in order to do what they want to do. So the fact that you could just be rewarded with the other two most important parts of the game, so you play a creature and you're rewarded by drawing a card and ramping, this stuff like that is so ridiculous. But I think this is a little bit too much value, Tulane, so stuff more like Tatiova or Get Rock Frog even, because again, I like explosive decks, I like explosive plays. I will say that let me see if I can spell this right. Yeah. Before they revealed Lord Windgrace, I did have a Vivictus Asmati the Dire deck that was actually a lands deck. And the idea around it was, again, to get Omnith out, which was easy because I have access to so many tutors between black and then even green's tutors for creatures. Get some lands out to make tokens, and then get Titania and the Gitrog Frog out to basically create even more tokens and keep doing, to draw more cards to be able to do more things. So, and then you even have ways to sacrifice your lands in Vivictus for more card draw with the Gitrog Frog, or more tokens with Titania, etc., etc. And then you basically just have to kind of get the recursion of the lands part to support the deck. Because if you don't, then you will potentially flounder on lands because you won't be able to get them back. So, and then if you go off with the tokens, Avenger of Zendikar was in the deck too, I think. You can just sacrifice the tokens as opposed to sacrificing lands. If you do get to a point where it's I'm running lower on lands than I would like to in the later part of this game, you just get rid of tokens. Because there's so many. Especially if Omnith is out and you can sacrifice, if you attack with a bunch of them and you can sacrifice a couple of them, or one of them I should say, for this trigger, and then you can bolt something that might not now be able to block because maybe it's dead. So, but yeah. So there you go. I think we're going to wrap this one up because Phyrexian got kicked off of Discord again. I think Discord's dropping people. I can hear Danny in the other room saying, talking to John and Song, and it sounds like they're losing connection as well. So we'll wrap this one up. Again, we didn't really have the topic prepared, so we kind of just went with whatever y'all talked about. New Dark Cloud supplied us with the favorite commanders and favorite archetypes. I hope we answered that question kind of well. Kind of, sort of well. Maybe, maybe not. But make sure you guys are, of course, checking us out on social media. So twitter.com/Praetor Magic, youtube.com/Praetor Magic, instagram.com/Praetor Magic, facebook.com/Praetor Magic, and follow us or join us on the Discord, I should say, where it'll be the only way you can talk to Phyrexian because he doesn't have social media, / you can talk to us about decks and other games that we play and all kinds of other cool stuff like that. Make sure you're checking out the affiliate link that will be down below the stream, in the video description, in the audio description. To go over to inkgaming.com, get your playmats, your customized playmats, dice bags, mouse pads, and all that crazy nonsense. And then make sure that you're getting your money's worth by taking our coupon code, which is Praetor10, Praetor10. That gets you 10% off your total purchase, and also helps us get a little bit more payment from your guys' stuff. So I think we're gonna play on Thursday. We weren't able to play last Thursday because we did not have a full game, and basically at 6 o'clock on the day of the stream, if we don't have enough players, I do have to kind of call it because I need prep time in order to do some things for the overlay and everything like that. So unfortunately, if we're not able to secure enough players, we do have to cancel. We canceled last week, but we moved everybody over to this week, and we got the one more player that we needed. So this Thursday we should be playing. 3DH, which is our budget version of Commander, where each deck only costs $3. Super cheap, super easy to get into. If you are interested in being able to play with a bunch of people who are playing cheap decks that you only have to spend a few bucks on, make sure you're joining us in the Discord. That way you can play Magic for really cheap and really easy with a lot of different people and a lot of different strategies with a lot of powerful cards that you would not expect to fit into a $3 budget. And then we are not streaming Commander Online this Saturday. That is correct. We are not streaming Commander Online this Saturday. It was due to travel plans and something like that with me and my wife. We are going to push it back to the 23rd of November, which is the following Saturday. So there is no stream this week. We are going to stream next week. So I will put that out on the Discord. I will put that out on the Twitter just to kind of make sure, and on the Facebook to kind of make sure everybody is aware of that. But yeah, don't show up this Saturday. Show up next Saturday. Okay? So until then, that's all we have for you. We will see you again this Thursday, and then next Monday and next Saturday. And next Monday will be our 50th episode. So we'll figure out a good topic for that, and yeah. We'll enjoy our big celebration of 50 episodes. Yay!